This is in response to Bill's Talking Points memo from Wednesday night, July, what would that be, 16. Okay, Bill, you had a short one. Hopefully I'll have a short one also. So you start off again with the border. Again, I think that the reason you're bringing up the border is solely to hammer on this president incompetency, which really doesn't exist on this issue, and just stressing it, and it'll go all the way to the election time solely for the purpose of electing more Republicans. If this had happened under the Bush administration, there would have nary been a peep out of you at all. You know, maybe you would have even been more humanitarian than you're being right now. But again, that's who you are. So we start off, what did you say? The first thing you did is you equated what was going on in the Middle East with what's going on with those children here trying to cross our border. Now, I'm doing this one day later, so I know now, just like you know, that there was a big tragedy in the Ukraine today where 230 people died. So there are a lot of terrible things going on in this world. There's problems right now in Ukraine, which could boil up to be pretty big. There are problems in Syria. There's Iraq, Iran, the borders that Syria is on with Turkey, Kurdistan, if there is a Kurdistan, the Kurds might even want to do their own country with the problems that are going on in Iraq. So Libya is a big problem right now. We had some problems way down in Africa with the kidnapping of those girls, which still hasn't been solved, problems in Nigeria. So there's a lot of things going on in this world. Gas is way too high. But, you know, to conflate the Middle East from yesterday's talking points, with the children that need refugee status, at least for a while, you know, it's just way taking it over the border. And God, you know, this is one of the reasons why I really love you, Billy, and that's because you conflate one thing with another thing. You act like they're actually together. They're not together, and then you don't even bother to explain why. And that was when you had that survey that was done by the DEA over people that they had arrested around the border. Well, first of all, there's a difference between the Border Patrol and the DEA. Second of all, you had some 200 people that said, oh, you know, they thought they would be able to stay here. Well, were they arrested for drug smuggling? Were they arrested on this side of the border? Were they adults? How long they had been in the United States? Were they trying to get across? You don't bring up any of that stuff. You just sort of conflate. You just make the association that all the kids coming here think that they can stay. These kids don't know any of this stuff if they're under 10. They're just doing what they're told to do. All right? Their mothers are trying to protect them, you know, from some very tragic and terrible things that are going on. And using that DEA analysis, that thing to say that they just want to come here, and there really isn't problems in their countries. There's huge problems in those countries. And you've been there, so you know, extremely poor, poverty-ridden, wide discrepancy between rich and poor, and the poor there are very dirt poor. And what else did you end up in going on? I think that was pretty much it. I had one little note here, you know. That you didn't do it too long last night, so that you only had about 3 minutes. So that's about enough out of me. But again, you know, conflating all these things to another thing, conflating the children to what's going on in Iraq and the Middle East, conflating what happened at the DEA. You don't even say when that survey or et cetera was taken. You just throw out all these things and you bring them all together. And again, I think the sole purpose of this is for you to try and make Obama look bad. Like I said, you got Libya, Syria, Iraq, Iran, the Ukraine. You got a lot of other things going on in a lot of other places in the world. The United States has to take a very measured, very thoughtfully driven response that can be the most effective. You know. Oh, and just one other thing. Again, the border. Don't stop with this National Guard. You don't know what you're talking about on that. I'll end it now.